Let me ask you something. What if you were told your entire life that you were the next Messiah, a new world teacher, here to save humanity? And then, at the peak of it all, your very first act was to say, nope, not interested. It sounds like a movie plot, but it's the real story of Jiddu Krishnamurti, and it's the explosive start to one of the most radical philosophies you'll ever encounter.
I mean, just listen to that. That's the kind of thing that stops you in your tracks, right? He's saying that the very thing most of us strive for, being a good, respectable person who follows the rules, is actually a barrier. It's what keeps us from what's real. To even begin to understand what he meant by that, we have to look at his absolutely unbelievable life story.
You see, before we can get into the philosophy, we have to grasp the incredible historical stage that was built just for him, a stage he would later decide to just burn to the ground.
Can you just imagine this? You're a young boy in India, and this huge international spiritual movement, the Theosophical Society, singles you out. They don't just think you're special. They believe you are the vessel for a new Messiah, this world teacher who's going to change everything for everyone. They literally create an entire organization, the Order of the Star, with thousands of followers, all of it dedicated to preparing the world for your teachings. The weight of the entire world was put right on his shoulders.
Okay, so this brings us to the most traumatic turning point you can imagine. After decades of being built up as the world's next great spiritual guide, Krishnamurti did the one thing, the only thing, nobody ever saw coming. He rejected the whole thing.
Just look at this timeline for a second. For almost 20 years, this whole machine is built around him. The Order of the Star grows, people dedicate their lives to this idea, and then, boom, 1929. He gets up in front of thousands of his followers and just dissolves it. The whole thing, the organization, his title, the path they were all on, he took it all apart in one single speech.
And right here, this is the sentence that explains everything. This is the key. He wasn't just saying, I'm not the guy. He was saying there is no guy. There is no path. There is no system. His point was that truth, whatever that is, can't be put in a box, it can't be organized, and it definitely can't be handed down from a leader to a follower. And that, of course, begs the enormous question, why?
All right, so let's get into the philosophical meat of this. Why did he do it? Well, for Krishnamurti, following any path, any tradition, any guru, any religion wasn't just a detour. It was the actual prison wall preventing you from ever seeing the truth for yourself.
The central problem, the big villain in his story, is a single idea: conditioning. It's this idea that from the moment you're born, your mind is being programmed, hypnotized even, by your parents, your culture, your country. You're taught what to think, how to feel, what to believe. And pretty soon your responses aren't really yours anymore. They're just automatic, mechanical reflexes.
And just look at this list. I mean, it's everything, isn't it? It's not just the big stuff like religion or nationality. It's the language you speak, the books you read, the art you see. All of it works together to build this little box we call me. It creates what he called a second-hand mind, a mind that's just full of other people's ideas and is basically incapable of having a fresh, original perception of anything.
You know, he used this really powerful metaphor of being spoon-fed. We're like children. We want someone else to go climb the mountain and then come back and tell us what it's like, and we're perfectly happy with their description. We've been trained for centuries to just accept the answers, not to ask the fundamental questions for ourselves.
So you end up with this stark contrast. The traditional way is like slowly peeling an onion from the outside. You follow the rules, you conform, you listen to authority, and you hope, layer by layer, you'll eventually get to some core truth. Krishnamurti's approach, it's the complete opposite. It's a radical explosion from the center. It's about seeing truth directly, right now, by understanding your own mind, not by following someone else's map.
Okay, so if you reject every guide, every book, every tradition, what on earth are you left with? Where do you even start? Well, this brings us to his solution. And spoiler alert, it isn't another path. It's a totally radical form of self-reliance.
And this part is absolutely fundamental. His message was not, hey, that belief system is bad, try mine instead. It was, be free from the need for a system in the first place. It's about breaking that deep psychological habit we all have of looking to someone else for answers, for security, for comfort. So what does this pathless path actually look like? Well, first, you have to radically question, and I mean really question, all external authority. Gurus, sacred books, rituals, the whole shebang.
Second, you take total 100% responsibility for yourself. No more blaming anyone else. And third, and this is the core of it, you practice something he called choiceless awareness. It just means watching your own mind, your thoughts, your feelings, without judging them, without trying to fix them. You just observe what is, in this very moment. That's how you start to see how your own conditioning actually works.
Now, this all sounds pretty liberating, right? But Krishnamurti was always crystal clear that this way of living is not easy. Not at all. In fact, it's incredibly difficult, and it comes with some very real, very serious consequences.
And there it is. We're right back to that first shocking quote. The moment you truly reject authority, you are, by definition, in conflict with a society that's built on it. You're not playing the game anymore, and that means you have to stand completely and sometimes painfully alone, without the comfort of belonging to a group, a belief, or an ideology.
So in the end, we're left with this final, incredibly challenging thought. You see, Krishnamurti didn't offer us a new set of answers. He just took all the old answers away and handed us a mirror instead. He puts all of the responsibility for discovery squarely back on us, the individual. So the real question isn't whether he was right or wrong, it's whether we have the courage to find out for ourselves.